Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and Samoa Joe debuted on Raw, and all the internet fans are, oh, Samoa Joe's here! They were all pissed off. I'm sitting there, at the Rumble, and I'm angry because of Undertaker, Goldberg, and Lesnar not being in the ring at the same time, lackluster eliminations, and Kurt Angle not being there. Instead, people are not even talking about Kurt Angle. They're not even talking about Brock, Undertaker, or Goldberg. Instead, what are they talking about? Samoa Joe! Samoa Joe! Samoa Joe came on Raw, you motherfuckers. And he was there. He was there as clear as could be. There's Samoa Joe. Finally came on. So, let's talk a little bit about something that led up to this. So you had fucking NXT, which I did not watch, and no, I will not be reviewing it. Fuck that fucking shit. Fuck that goddamn fucking glorified indie fed that people wet their fucking male panties over. I mean, it's the same fucking matches, and I said this. When I did my last NXT review, I said, I don't understand how people are getting excited over these fucking matches. First of all, I about had it. I said it. When they did Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe in the cage, that was the last one that I could tolerate. That shit was all over the fucking place. Finishers off the top, and somehow, some way, they're kicking out of this shit. I'm like, why the fuck am I gonna bother with this? These guys are not Stone Cold that are Rock. They're not The Undertaker. And they're like, bro! I mean, it's fucking ridiculous with the 1,000 fucking kickouts. I used to go to a lot of Ring of Honor shows, as I've talked about. And I even reviewed and got chewed out later on. But as my taste started to change, I realized that it was getting pretty fucking retarded in the indies. You had a lot of fucking people just kicking out of everything. These guys weigh fucking 180 pounds. And they're like kicking out of moves off the top rope that would, if it was done in real life, would break the person's skull. And it's like unbelievable. These matches should be like ending, like as soon as the finisher's being hit, it should be ended. And instead, these motherfuckers are kicking out like all they've done has been poked or some shit. The fuck? So anyway, NXT, you had Seth Rollins appearing on there, the last NXT, calling out Triple H at total random. He doesn't do this on Raw. He doesn't do this on any pay-per-view. All of a sudden, he just comes out, I want Triple H now! Out of fucking nowhere. Like, all the months in the fucking past of when Triple H screwed Seth Rollins out of the title, right? Remember, and Kevin Owens won the title. He helped Kevin Owens win. Did Seth Rollins, and when was that? That was Finn Balor was injured. They waited, this was in August. They waited all the way to fucking late January of all times to have Seth Rollins storm out there. Where the fuck was Seth Rollins for 4 fucking months? Complaining to Stephanie, oh, Triple H, and married to you and shit. What the fuck? And they wait so fucking long to okay, so maybe it wasn't as bad as when CM Punk and Orton had a feud over Orton punting CM Punk, because that happened like 3 years prior to what they were feuding over. So he comes out 4 months later to start challenging Triple H, of all times. So on Raw, they continue. They have some continuity. Seth Rollins comes out, challenges Triple H. Triple H was out there, rather, and Seth Rollins comes out. Triple H challenged Seth Rollins. Finally got to it. And then Samoa Joe blindsides him and beats him the fuck up. That was cool. He's an enforcer for Triple H. And, that's pretty good for what it is. That could be interesting. And at this point, me saying something is interesting, I guess, speaks volumes. That was actually pretty cool. I thought that, Samoa Joe, before he could get to Triple H, even though Triple H could beat the shit out of Samoa Joe, even at his age, Samoa Joe is, a good barrier, I guess, but Samoa Joe's going to debut, and what are they going to do? They're going to have Seth Rollins go over Samoa Joe, right? So he can get to Triple H. So it's going to be like, Samoa Joe is going to debut, and obviously, one of his first matches is going to be against Seth Rollins. Maybe he'll have a match on Raw prior to that, squashing somebody. But he's going to go on, and he's going to lose to Rollins. So the point is, they're going to debut him just, as a transitional wrestler, just so Seth Rollins has somebody to beat as a showcase of making him look strong going into a match against Triple H. What kind of fucked up shit is that? They're going to have a guy that could possibly be something on their roster. And they're just going to sacrifice him to Rollins in order to make him look strong. What the... it's a prediction at this point, but it's going to happen. So it's like, why even fucking bother then? Why even debut him? Just, you might as well just use somebody else on the roster who you've been jobbing out, right? Why not make it Chris Jericho? Well, we need something fresh. Well, it is fresh, but you're going to sacrifice the integrity of one wrestler. And obviously, Samoa Joe beat the shit out of Seth Rollins, so now Seth Rollins has got to get his heat back, and he's got to beat Joe, right? That's the way how they think. It's not me coming up with some crazy idea. It's going to happen. And this is an endless cycle they fall into. This is why they can never build new stars. We always sit around scratching our heads, well, why is WWE not good? They've got all these stars. This is why. This is fucking why. Because every single time they debut something, they never think about integrity. They think, wins and losses don't matter. They do. People see somebody losing, and they see him losing constantly. When Stone Cold lost the match, it took a lot. It had to be Undertaker and Kane beating him in a triple threat match that was just a cleverly disguised handicap match, right? Every time Stone Cold lost, it had to be set up in such a way where it didn't look like it was his fault that he lost. It was always pretty much that there was a screw job or something, and that is how you book a strong talent. That is how you do it. It's not hitting 1,000 finishers on somebody. It's none of that. It's basically making somebody look strong. If you want to make them look like the fucking main hero of the story, then book it like that. Stop with this fucking nonsense of jobbing everybody out to the point where you just have a roster full of people that really don't mean anything. Bray Wyatt should mean the world to them, but they turned the guy into a fucking glorified jobber. I mean, this guy should have been a fucking surefire hit. He should have been champion by 2014, and we're still just sitting there saying, oh, I wish he would have won the Rumble this year. But instead we're saying, what if, and not, wow, he won it. I mean, what kind of shit is this? Nobody ever gets, their just dues. Whatever happened to paying your dues and getting what's coming to you? Instead, now it's like, instead give it to all the wrong people. Let's give Rumble spots to Jack Gallagher. Let's start up a new 205 show instead of actually concentrating on the characters we have now and making them prosper and become stars for the future. Stars that people actually want to watch. Because I'm telling you this right now, nobody wants to watch Kevin Owens as a champion. It's quite fucking obvious. And seriously, Seth Rollins is not doing a very good job as being the face of WWE if this is who they fucking want. I don't know, guys. I just really hope they don't do what I'm thinking they're going to do with Joe, jobbing him out to Seth, but I think they're going to do it.